Okay, so today let's talk about something that happens sometimes when you're defending a hand. Your partner leads the ace, we'll say the ace of hearts in this case. Most people play nowadays that leading the ace promises the king, so you expect that partner has the ace and king of hearts. And your hearts, we'll give you a couple of choices here. Let's say that your hearts are the queen and the 3. One of the rules in signaling is that you will never signal with a card that might win a trick. Well, certainly if your partner has the ace king of hearts, your queen might very well win a trick. So you would never play the queen, you would always play the 3. If your hearts were the queen all by themselves, you hate it, but you got to play the queen, right? This is the one that is kind of interesting. Suppose that you have the queen, the jack, and the 10. Or possibly just the queen, jack, and a small card. There is a thought in bridge that what you will do if you have both the queen and jack, and partner has led the ace, promising the king, the cards you should play is the queen. Since you would only play the queen if it was a singleton, you never play it if it was a doubleton, playing the queen says either this is the only one I have, or I have the card directly beneath it, the jack. Now, why would you ever want to do that? That seems kind of silly, doesn't it? Why would you ever want to waste one of your big cards underneath partner's ace? The idea is that partner has many times partner needs to get to your hand for you to do something else. Or the small card you have may not be a big enough signal for him. It may not tell him what you want him to tell, what you want to tell him. So by playing the queen, your partner has choices. Your partner can play a small card from their hand. For instance, with the ace, king, 7, 4, they've led the ace. Now they could play the 4 to your queen, to your jack, and then you could play one back to them, allowing them to take all their long cards. Or if your partner for some reason wanted you to be on lead, thinks that you might have the length instead of them, they can play the ace, the king, and another heart. You would never play the queen if you had queen doubleton. You don't want to signal with a card that might that might be able to take a trick. You would play the queen if you had a singleton, and you would play the queen if you had queen jack. So partner can narrow down which cards you might hold and make a good decision about whether to cash his king and play a 3rd heart, or whether to lead low to you, hoping that you can do something well for them. It's a little tricky, and when you first start playing that queen under the king, boy, that's tough. But that's the play you got to make.